If your research always felt comfortable, it wouldn't be stretching you enough. It really wouldn't. If everything fitted into tidy little boxes, it probably wouldn't be doctoral research in the first place. Uncertainty isn't something you should rush through. Uncertainty is where you actually learn to do the work. Uncertainty is how new knowledge gets generated. Nobody tells you that capable PhD researchers can feel deeply confused a lot of the time. That kind of sucks because if you're studying for a PhD, you're probably the kind of person who likes a little bit of certainty. You like to know what you're writing about. You like to feel that you've understood the theories that you're reading, that you've grasped the concepts, that you get what's going on. So when something feels confusing or messy, that's quite uncomfortable. Up until this point in your academic career, you've probably been rewarded for getting to certainty quite quickly. You learn something, you understand it, you answer the question, you move on. There's a nice feeling of closure. But a PhD is different. And one of the biggest things you need to realise on the PhD journey is that certainty isn't the goal anymore. In fact, one of the most valuable things you can learn is to tolerate uncertainty, because that's where the research happens. The questions you're working on are complex, they're multi-layered. Different researchers disagree. The evidence doesn't always point neatly in one direction. If everything fitted into tidy little boxes, it probably wouldn't be doctoral research in the first place. Rather than trying to rush through that uncomfortable feeling of uncertainty or assume that it must mean you're doing something wrong, I want you to look at it a bit differently. The feeling of not quite knowing, the feeling of changing your mind, of thinking, I still don't understand this. That is often where the important thinking happens. Now, I am not saying that uncertainty is enjoyable because most of us really don't like it. It can make you question your ability. It can trigger your imposter syndrome. It can leave you thinking, surely I should have figured this out by now. None of those thoughts necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong or you're not up to a PhD. Quite often, they mean that you are doing exactly the kind of thinking that a PhD asks you to do. If your research always felt comfortable, it wouldn't be stretching you enough. It really wouldn't. So if you're sitting with ideas that don't quite fit together yet, don't immediately assume that that's a problem. It might actually be evidence that you are right in the middle of the work that is going to lead to your contribution to knowledge. Uncertainty isn't something you should rush through. Uncertainty is where you actually learn to do the work. And that can be quite a different way of thinking about research. It might be quite different from what you're used to thinking about it, that you should always have a right answer or a clear direction or know exactly what this means. Uncertainty is how new knowledge gets generated. Now, one of the things that people tend to do when they feel uncertain is just to go and read more. But in the next video, I'm going to explain why reading more isn't always the answer, and sometimes it can actually leave you feeling more stuck. I'll see you in there.